Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek and thank you for tuning into my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how I created this jean bodysuit. This bodysuit was very fun to make because I kind of broke the rules a little bit in the pattern that I was using. The pattern that I used to create this was a quick sew 3661 pattern, and this pattern is intended for a very stretchy material. In order to do that, I created these lace up sides where you can pretty much adjust it to the size that you want. And the only thing that I didn't input into this, which would have been useful, is a zipper. If I would have put a zipper in the back, it would have been easier to get in and out of this bodysuit. But because I didn't put a zipper on it, and because this material does not stretch, in order to get in and out of this bodysuit, you want to have one side fully laced all the way down. And then the other side, you're gonna pretty much start it. So you're gonna start it and lace it kind of halfway, but make sure it's loose enough so that you can get into it, and then step into it. And if you use a mirror or if you have help by somebody, you pretty much just pull the two sides together, and looking into the mirror or whatever, you're just gonna go in and look down and continue to lace it. And then what I did was I just did little knots on each side so that it doesn't come off. Unfortunately, yes, when you have to use the bathroom, you have to do the same thing again. If you want to see how I created this look, please stay tuned. I'm also going to be bringing you more tutorials, so don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. I do want to hear your feedback, so if you want to see how I made this, please stay tuned. Okay, let's get started. I used an oversized vest, but you can use just about any jean material that you have. To get started, the first thing I did was separate the front and back of the vest by cutting a seam at the shoulders. Next, I matched the front right sides together and made sure it was even. Before you start cutting, make sure you have your pattern piece marked with all the information on the pattern so that when you're done cutting, you know where to pin what. Now, place your pattern on the fabric and cut around the perimeter. Pin the backs right side together at the center back seam. Now for the front, fold your fabric and place the pattern on the fold and cut as shown. This is what both your pattern pieces should look like now that they're cut out. Now sew a zigzag stitch down the center back seam with a 1/4 seam allowance. When I'm sewing, I start to stitch about an inch down. Once I reach the end, I remove the pattern piece and flip it around and go back to the top and sew the part that I didn't start in the beginning. This way it's no gaps and it's a seamless line going all the way down. Now, stitch the front and the back right sides together at the crotch seam. Cut the excess threads off, and you can even cut the center notch off. Now, you want the front and the back to be even, so what I'm doing is placing them together at the side seams, and I'm holding it together with one pin on each side. To make the V shape in the front, I'm measuring 5 inches from the bottom side seam to the top, and then I'm marking it with chalk. Then I'm placing a mark on the center of the crotch so that each side is even. Next, I'm using a ruler to draw a line through both chalk markings. Now cut along the line and repeat for both sides. Next, I'm measuring how long the front side seams are. And for the extra small pattern piece that I'm using, I came up with 10 inches. So I'm going to take my trim with the grommet insets and cut a piece of 10 inches long. Then I'm going to take the piece that I cut and match the grommets to the rest of the trim that I have and cut 4 exact copies of that piece. Once all my pieces are cut out, it's now time to pin your trim to each sides of the pattern along the curves, making sure the front of the trim is facing the front of the fabric. The original pattern is meant to gather on the side, so don't be alarmed when you pin it together and the trim does not go all the way down to the bottom on the back. I'm gonna come back to that later, but for now, just pin it. Next, you're going to do a tiny zigzag stitch all the way down and make sure you do not sew the grommets. Sew along the edge and be very, very careful. Do that to all 4 sides and make sure you're sewing at the smallest zigzag stitch length. Okay, so now it's the part where we're going to make the front and the back even. Take your measuring tape and measure 8 inches up from the crotch seam and mark your fabric. Then you're going to place a ruler from the bottom edge of your trim and your 8-inch mark that you made and draw a line. Now cut along the line and repeat for the other side. Next, take your stream and lace up both sides of your bodysuit. Then we're gonna cut 2 5-inch pieces for the shoulders, and I'm using 2-inch wide elastic. You're gonna sew a zigzag stitch at the shoulders, and you're gonna repeat this as shown on both sides. So the only step that I did not show in making this tutorial was me hemming the front. So once I tried it on, it kind of overlapped a little bit out here. So what I did was just tuck it under to where I liked it and then pinned it, and then I just did like a really quick stitch going up. I'm trying to get in the hang of like filming these tutorials. With each one that I do, I will continue to get better and better. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I have more videos coming soon. I'd like to hear your feedback on this one. If you found this tutorial useful, please don't hesitate to tag me in photos. I'll have my social media links below. Thank you. Bye-bye.